Hi, it's Dr. Gary on the road. We sell dental practices, and we've been in business for 11 years now. I was a dentist for 25 years, and our phone number is 201-663-0935, 201-663-0935. Our website is dentalpracticeguide.com, dentalpracticeguide.com. Feel free to call us at any time. It's been 11 years that we're still practicing, this 11 years of doing the dental practice sales. We actually today are expanding to a new state. We're on the way to Tennessee, so I'm excited. We have 5 offices to see down there, and we're meeting 3 CEOs of or development acquisition leaders of 3 different DSO, dental support organizations. So we're going to meet 3 of those guys down in Nashville, and then we have a few other areas to stop, I think 5 other places. So we're excited. This will be our 16th state. We're growing and having fun every day. We have 8 employees now, and there soon may be 9. But we're very happy to assist the buyer and the seller, whether the buyer or the seller is selling to a private individual or the seller wants to sell to a DSO. We can assist you. Often the DSOs will pay our commission. So we're here to help you. The title of today's YouTube is Defusing Problems and Issues that Develop Between the Buyer and the Seller. Right now we have a smaller practice, not grossing too much, and real estate also accompanied with it. We're coming down the home stretch, and the buyers have been approved for the loan. We're excited about that. The seller had substantially reduced his selling price because it wasn't moving. Although it was a nice unit, it wasn't moving that fast. So he just brought the price way down to, I'd say it was close to 50%, 45% of what his gross was. No, closer to 50%. Because he wanted to unload it and they're moving out of the area. The buyer wanted to buy the real estate in the dental practice. The real estate appraisal came in very good. Just about as, I think it was just almost on target of what the seller wanted to sell it for, what the buyer wanted to purchase it for. The bank came in with that appraisal. And since they're selling the practice for about 50% of gross, which is lower than normal, the buyer's very happy. So now we're down the home stretch. Buyer's already been approved for the loan. The seller's excited to get this deal done, but the buyer wanted to get 2 prices for, I think, something about an issue inside the unit that had to do with a ventilation issue. It was a little bit complicated, so the buyer was bringing in a specialist. And the second problem was one of the utilities was failing. It was beginning to fail. So the buyer said, just get these 2 areas replaced or repaired. The problem was the buyer brought in some specialties type of plumbers, carpenters, HVAC, and so forth. One of the companies they brought in was about almost double of what it would cost to fix the unit. And obviously the seller is irate, double the cost. And the other one, in the inspection and the ventilation, instead of doing it, it was only a condo. They spent 5 hours there. I mean, I think it's somewhat long time. 5 hours inspecting, and the condo's only like 1,800 square feet. What are you going to do for 5 hours? So the seller is getting upset. It's like, what is this friggin' guy doing here this long? He says, I know what they're doing. They're trying to get money out of me. So I have to defuse it. I have to defuse these problems. I have to keep everybody on target. This is the role of the broker. I have to keep the buyer motivated. Now, fortunately, the buyer chose, very smart, the buyer chose one of my recommended dental attorneys. There's like 5 in each state or 4 in each state, sometimes only 2. But the buyer and the seller both had good attorneys. And I hope at this point, I'm trying to diffuse the problems between the 2. This is why it's hard to try to sell your practice yourself. The seller says, I'm ready to walk away. I'm upset. They're trying to extort money from me. I calm them down. That's the role we play, and it doesn't cost you anything. If you go to the attorneys, it'll cost you more. But the key thing is here, we have 2 attorneys that have worked together in the past. They're dental attorneys. I know both of them. I send them a lot of work. I don't get anything out of it. I just want to get the deal closed. So that's the role of the broker, is to keep everybody moving forward, keep everybody on target. And I have to be available. Now, the seller is upset. He can't get answers, so he's calling me. Now, the seller cannot speak to the buyer's attorney, and the buyer can't speak to the seller's attorney. So I'm the only person in the middle. So I think I'm able to diffuse it. I agreed with the seller that the price appears to be a little bit high. Let me do a little research. He's done some research on what the average cost of replacing this one utility is. And as far as the ventilation system, why the guy is there so long, I don't know. We may have to come up with our own HVAC ventilation person to see what the story is. But you got a seller that's threatening to leave the deal. I don't think they will, but you've got to diffuse. And these are when problems happen. I don't know when the problems are going to happen in deals. Sometimes they happen in the beginning, sometimes midway, and we're real close to closing, and then other times they happen right towards the end. This is the way these deals are. Every deal is different. Problems, issues will occur. There's always going to be a hurdle, and I don't know when those hurdles will come. Again, beginning, middle, end. We hope to put this together. I think we will get resolved. The key is both attorneys have worked together before, and because that, I think we can put it together. All right, call us anytime. We're here to give you free advice, appraisals for the seller anytime. Just give us a ring. This is our first trip to Tennessee. I am excited. It's going to be great, and we'll try to squeeze in a little bit of sightseeing. I've never been to Nashville, Chattanooga. I think it's a little less congested than New Jersey and New York metro area. We'll have to see. I understand people drive very slow down there, so it should be exciting. We're going to have some fun. Thank you. Bye.